me wanna holler, go away. I need more peace and hope and love. Where do I find it in this crazy old world? I need strategies, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Every time I listen, Lauren and David share strategies for living, and it makes me aware. I've got strategies for living, strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio. Your dose of radio rehab. Strategies for living radio.
Well, you know, we need them. Some days we may need them a little more than other days, but we need them nonetheless. I'm talking about strategies. You ready? You ready for your daily dose of radio rehab?
Oh, I'm ready.
Yeah, I knew you would be.
I'm ready.
Hey, folks, hope you are too. Welcome in. Welcome into another edition of Strategies for Living. I'm Dr. David McMillian. She is psychotherapist.
Had to think for a minute. That's okay.
PLPC Lauren. I'm fine.
You
Lauren
are, huh?
Leon McMillian. And we're joined by, of course, Dr. Stacie Slabaugh from
The
the
one and
Balanced
only.
Life Wellness Center. And I want both of you to know I'm fine, just fine.
Sure.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're going to talk about that today.
Yeah, I'm excited, Stacie, because you wanted to talk about
Being fine.
being fine. Well, nervous system regulation. And, we're going to talk about that today. And that's not something that a lot of people talk about,
Right.
but perhaps especially with the world that we're living in today
Yes.
and the things that we're all living through
Yes.
in this world that we're living in today.
We're constantly being invited to dysregulation.
We
Yes.
are.
Yeah.
We are.
So
And
it's
we-
a very
and-
important topic, even though it might not be a common topic.
And I don't know if we really understand dysregulation when it's happening to us and what that means.
I would say the vast majority of people don't.
So we've got a lot to cover today. Nervous system regulation, how important it is to stay balanced.
Yes.
Yeah. And so today we maybe at the end of today's program, we'll all be fine. Just fine.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll be just fine.
I
That's the
hope
goal.
so.
Hopefully regulated.
We'll be re-regulated. Folks, thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Strategies for Living. We appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center, Azalea Cleaners, Pintail Roofing, Learning RX, We Train Your Brain, the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitta's Delicatessen, Home of the Godfather, Alligator Italian Sausage, SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. Back in a moment, we're going to talk about our nervous system and how to regulate it today here on Strategies for Living. Stay with us.
Tune in daily, find the light. Healthy mind and spirits bright. Strategies for living strong. Feel the vibe, it won't go wrong. Body moves and soul align. Catch the rhythm, feel the time. Radio rehab every day. Chase those clouds of gray away. Your daily dose of radio rehab. Lift you up when skies seem drab. Mind and body, spirits free. Living life in harmony.
And welcome into Strategies for Living. Lauren Leon McMillian, Dr. Stacie Slabaugh from the Balanced Life Wellness Center, David McMillian. And yeah, I'm fine, just fine.
Okay, but how are you really?
But how are you really?
Why do you, both of you? Both of you chime in. You
Because
don't. You don't believe me.
because
Leave it to the women.
we
Yeah.
genuinely care about your actual state of feelings,
Yes.
Yeah.
not a responsorial script.
And this is not just about me because I mean, a lot of times we use it, and I'm going back to my youth and growing up watching the Andy Griffith Show.
Oh, okay.
The old black and white Andy
Yes,
Griffith Show.
okay.
You remember Andy? Andy was always saying, "Fine, just fine,
Just fine.
yeah, fine, just fine." And so that's kind of I'm mocking,
Right.
and but a lot of us say that and do that, and we're not fine.
Right.
Yeah. So when somebody says that, are we lying?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not lying. The problem is stress has become so normal that it's we've learned to live. Our baseline is stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we really, don't know the difference. We're taught a lot of things in school, but we're not taught to listen to our own bodies.
Yeah.
And that may be
We're
the
actually
most
taught the
important
opposite.
thing.
We're taught the
Aren't
opposite.
we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
very
taught
much
to give
taught
it
the
away.
opposite. Yeah.
That we don't know, that we
Yeah.
have to go outside.
Yeah, that everything, our goodness and our fineness, yes, has to come from outside of ourselves, and we really don't. It's not lying. We really don't know the signs. So you're only sleeping 4 or 5 hours a night. You're running on caffeine. You're wired but tired. You go around saying you're exhausted, but you're the hamster wheels. That's kind of me today, to be honest. You're snapping at people. Minor inconveniences suddenly become full-blown crises.
That doesn't sound fine.
Right.
You're making it sound very unfine now.
But we all encounter those problems and we'll say we're fine.
Well, it's become, like you said, it's kind of become our norm. I almost think of it like the frog in the boiling water analogy, right? I mean, over a relatively long-ish period of time, we've just increased in the amount of technology and information and all of the rush and the pressure that we put on ourselves, right, and that we've been exposed then to all of this extra wave and energy forms, right, that we don't really recognize.
Yeah, we don't recognize stress and a dysregulated nervous system at all.
So bottom line, what happens is we get stuck in a state of high alert.
In fight or flight.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we think of fight or flight as in the moment.
Yeah.
And our bodies were miraculously and wonderfully made. And so we were supposed to see the bear, and the nervous system was supposed to respond to how to deal with the bear. And then the bear goes away.
Right.
And the nervous system
you
comes
lay down
back
and play
into,
dead
Yep.
and make the bear think you're dead, or you can run away from it, or all the hormones, the norepinephrine, the cortisol, the adrenaline, it all runs to the system to deal with the bear in that moment. And then we get back to safety, we get back to our hut, and the threat is gone, and our system becomes regulated again.
Right.
We can rest and repair.
Well,
We now have the bear in front of us every single day.
Yeah.
And our system does not know. So our system really can't tell the
Get stuck.
difference between the real bear or your boss.
right.
That's constantly breathing down your neck, or, whoever else. It can't tell the difference. And so now we're living in a world where we turn on the news. We'll talk about that briefly. We turn on the news, or we go to work, or, sadly, in some cases, we come home and the bear is ever present.
Still there, yeah.
It's still there.
Well,
and so then we adapt to that
Right.
state of regular.
And
But
that
it's still
adaptation
Yeah.
is not
fine.
is not fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes,
All right.
exactly.
But what ought to be? What is a balanced? What does a regulated and balanced nervous system look like?
Relatively calm, peaceful. A truly regulated nervous system, you would feel at peace most of the time. And don't get me wrong, the bear's going to crop up from time to time. It's
Sure.
not that there's peace beyond, of course, yes, if we quote scripture, there should be peace beyond all understanding. I'm not talking about that. But it's not that there's peace every single day and you never get heightened.
Right.
But by far and large, your norm should be that you feel calm, that you can handle situations, that you don't get easily overwhelmed, that you can go to sleep at night and wake up in the morning and feel rested, feel that you've had a full night's rest rather than waking up immediately bad words going through your brain the minute you open your eyes, like, I got to face another day, and you're bracing to do it all again.
Yeah.
That's a hijacked nervous system. When you wake up and you're just bracing to do it again. When I talk to people every day who don't know what to call it or don't know the term for it, but they know that they get overwhelmed very easily. They can't handle what should be normal life tasks because they get incredibly overwhelmed. And either they go into anxiety or panic, or they start screaming or yelling at somebody, or I can't do this, I don't know what to do. That's a hijacked nervous system. That is a dysregulated nervous system. I think two of the most maybe important ones are being able to rest without guilt. So many people cannot do that. So if you have a Sunday afternoon and, you know, maybe there's some clothes to wash, of course, there's always something to do, but you can just say, no, I need rest. I'm just going to sit here and binge all day on a book or even a TV show or take a nap all day. But so many people feel absolutely guilty for
And they
doing
won't
that.
do that for themselves.
And they won't do it. So
Whereas-
that's a hijacked nervous system.
Yeah, sometimes that may be the thing that we need the most.
And, and
Just today.
I would say from personal experience and from what I've witnessed, if you don't do that, your body will do it for you.
It will do it for you
eventually.
at some point. Yes, it absolutely
That's
will.
called
It
disease,
will.
right?
You have
Yeah,
to.
it's called why we get sick. It's
Yeah.
called why we catch things and stuff.
Yeah, and we'll
out
go
there.
into that in just a little bit. You know, I think also, you know, possibly even more important than the being able to rest without guilt is being able to respond instead of react. I think most of us are not aware, and I am just as guilty of it from time to time, but I try to stay in you know, very cognizant awareness of, you know, as something comes at me, as my nervous system is determining that something is a threat, to calm down, approach that with calmness, regulate my own nervous system, and respond to the problem rather than react to the problem. Because things go all kinds of haywire when we're just reacting.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think this is one of the things that we're supposed to be doing because our ego self would have us in a state of constant reaction and reactivity. And one of the things that I think we're, you know, on this planet to learn is how to shift that
Most definitely.
from reactivity to response. So it doesn't mean that we're passive by any means.
Right.
You know, we're still responding, but we're not hijacked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's part of the nervous system, and so the nervous system and the ego do work together. You know, you brought that up; they very much work together. And so, when our nervous system becomes hijacked, our ego becomes so. It goes back to Carl Jung and someone else, and I forget their name, but I just recently listened to a thing about the 10 stages of the ego. And so, the vast majority of people are actually stuck somewhere around 3.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't realize it.
Yeah.
Including people that are in the healer category
Yeah. Sure.
or whatever. They're stuck around 3.
You're talking about like 3 years old.
Well,
or-
the third stage,
Or the
which
stage,
is
okay.
typically we come into in our teenage and middle school to
Okay,
teenage
all right,
years.
Okay.
It's a little
And so
better,
we
but not
just-
much.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
just get stuck there.
Of course, I don't know if you've ever been around a lot of teenagers. A lot of times, a typical teenager will act 2 and 3.
Will act like
Yeah.
they're 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it is the, you know, and if we go to the stage we're at, I have a 2-year-old grandson right now. He is in his terrible 2s. And so that
Developing that ego
stage
strong.
is me, my way.
Yeah.
Fussing, pointing, screaming when he doesn't get his way, right? So obviously we are supposed to overcome that. We're supposed to reach higher stages than that, but I know people that are grown and still stuck there.
But that is such a key. That's a good point, Stacie, though, because how important do you think it is at that stage to then learn what we're talking about now? Then,
Yes, it's.
At
I
least
think it's
the
very important to
seeds
start
of
learning
nervous
it now.
system
Yes,
regulation.
of regulation, and to start teaching at 2 and 3 and 4 years old.
Why
Because I
don't we?
think
you can
Why
control it.
don't we?
I think that's why we're all so stuck there. Is
Because we don't know any better.
right? And it was shut down.
It was
and
shut down. We were, you know, screamed at or yelled at or just told
Right.
to sit down and shut up rather
Right.
than, you know, what you're feeling is normal and acceptable, but here's how we're going to handle it.
Right.
Here's how we, need to be doing it.
Right.
Not, but we often, and I can look back on raising my daughter, and, there's a lot of places where you cringe as a parent who's gone through the whole thing and think, wow, did I get that wrong? But yes, I mean, I think we're coming to a place where we have more and more understanding that we can calmly talk to our 2, 3, and 4-year-olds and teach them where then they grow up and they know how to handle it better. Whereas we're not taught. So we didn't know any
But we
better.
could still talk to our 2, 3, and 4-year-old.
Yes.
Within us.
Right. But you're right. Yes,
To
absolutely.
To reach that part again.
But the more hijacked our nervous system becomes and the more stressed out we become, the more that ego kicks in and goes back to that 2-year-old state of, stage that's me. But what about me? But what about mine? But what about this? But what about, and we don't focus on that regulation. So it's a vicious cycle that is very important to get under control.
So Stacie Slabaugh from the Balanced Life Wellness Center is with us today. We're talking about our nervous system. Well, I probably couldn't be talking about anything more important than nervous system regulation today. You want to find out more about the Balanced Life Wellness Center? Well, one great way to do it would be thebalancedlife.us. And, you can go and get a kind of a virtual you do a lot of things over there. We'll talk a little bit about that as we go along. Stacie Slabaugh today here on Strategies for Living. Could we be talking about something more important? I don't think so. And we've got more to learn, more to come here on Strategies for Living.
When life gets loud and you can't find peace, there's a calm that's calling you release. Lauren, David, and Stacie too, bringing balance and healing to you. Sound is the bridge where science meets soul. Tune into healing, let it make you whole. Tune out the chaos, tune into you at the Balanced Life. We'll help you renew with Stacie and Strategies for Living. Find your rhythm, your light, your beginning. Because everything is energy, and vibration connects us all.
And welcome back into Strategies for Living. And Stacie Slabaugh from the Balanced Life Wellness Center, 115 Kings Highway in Shreveport. That's right next door to Strawn's. And see old, back in my day it was Centenary Hardware, and then for years it made beautiful music.
Yes.
And it's still vibrating.
It's still
vibrate.
And just like that song can bring your nervous system into regulation. Such a soothing, nice song that Lauren made.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You have your own jingle.
I have my own jingle, and it's so calming and relaxing.
I wanted it to encapsulate all that you do.
So, that's how music affects us.
Yeah.
And so I just expand on that.
I like it.
Yeah.
Welcome back in, folks. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. We're talking with Dr. Stacie Slabaugh from the Balanced Life Wellness Center. And if you have not checked out, if you don't know about the Balanced Life yet, you need to join the literally hundreds and hundreds of people who are finding out and have found out, but more importantly, have been helped.
Yes.
At 115 Kings Highway. Now, be prepared. Because what Stacie has brought to our area is, for our area, unique and different. It's innovative. It's sound healing, if you will.
Yes.
No play on words.
No play on words.
Yeah.
Right.
Biofield tuning and scalar energy and all kinds of things. And if you go to thebalancedlife.us, you'll learn about them.
Yes.
And you can actually book an intro session on the website.
On the website.
And easy to do. And you just may find out that, you we're talking about regulation, brain regulation today. We may all find out we're not as regulated, as we thought.
think we are.
What does that look like from your end as a biofield tuner, if I could call it that? What does nervous system dysregulation look like from the table?
I feel it. I can feel the, it's funny though, because I ask people, I had a first time client this morning who is very familiar with energy work and healing. And, but one of the first things I felt was, I said, you tend to hold your breath. And she said, yes, I do. And so things like that, like I can feel, especially through the forks when, what that dysregulation is like. And it's oftentimes where, so our nervous system is it's our spinal column. It's
Right.
going down the center of our body. It's our central channel. And so when we're dysregulated, we have a block somewhere in that, our breath is not flowing, our spinal fluid, cerebrospinal fluid is not flowing. There's a particular place that it gets stuck. And I can often feel and tune into where yours is getting stuck.
And do something that unblocks it.
Unblocks it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we're amazingly self-regulating.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, we get blocked.
We get blocked. And so just me, and really all I do is remove the blockages, with your help. And I tell you, kind of maybe give you homework for lack of a better word, that you need to help me, and we help each other. And then, over the course of a few treatments, you begin to feel that shift. And when your nervous system becomes regulated, your body can then heal itself.
And you hear people say that over and over and over. I know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, when we get blocked for long enough, that's, we indicated this earlier, but things like hormone imbalances happen, stuff like digestive issues happen.
Yeah.
Again, when you're running up and down the central part of the body, anxiety and depression happen.
Well, and it's our immune system too. So a lot of people don't realize that, autoimmune diseases can be a direct result. I myself was diagnosed with severe rheumatoid arthritis when I was 32.
Wow.
And
that's part of your journey. That's part of
my
why
journey.
you're doing what you're doing.
Yes. And the doctor told me that I would be crippled by the time I was 40. I am 52 today and healthier than I ever was.
Yeah.
And at least 50% of that puzzle, and the reason I was displaying the symptoms, and I am by no means mitigating the symptoms and you feeling that you have some sort of autoimmune disease. It is painful. You are in pain. It is very real to you. I am not saying it's not. I am not at all saying it's all in your head.
Right.
But I am saying it is tied to your nervous system.
Right.
And within your control.
And it is within your control
to begin to heal it.
To
right?
get on that healing journey. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
Well, let's zoom out just a little bit here. And we've touched on this. We're living in a time where there's just a lot happening around us.
Yes.
And we're aware of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's
that's new to the world too.
It's the economy. It's war. It's uncertainty. It's it's the prices of eggs at the grocery store. We could go on and on. There's constantly,
and it's every day.
Yeah.
There's something new.
Yeah.
You turn on the TV, you get on your social media, you do anything, and you've got, like you said, David, wars, economic instability, health fears. We just came out of that, several years ago, and.
Right.
Maybe that's not over. Maybe there's, another round or of fear of whatever. It's always out there. But the social division affects us way more than we realize.
We don't realize how much it does affect us.
We don't realize how much that social division affects us. We are creatures made for community and connection and love. And that social division and disconnection from our fellow man and staying angry at our neighbor, quote, neighbor, it really affects the nervous system much more than we realize it does.
Yeah, yeah. I always think of the herd of gazelles, right? When the lion approaches, they all zoom out, right? But only one of them actually saw the lion. Right. And so I feel like we're a herd, we're a social creature too. So whenever one of us is distressed, it affects the whole collective nervous system, if you will.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
And it ripples through.
And in that, the collective nervous system is a really good thing, because as long as there's that social division and we're fighting each other and individually our nervous systems are dysregulated, then we have that collective dysregulation. Therefore, we cannot, so then we go into the collective ego, right? If we're circling back to that.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, we're not approaching these problems from a sound, coherent place.
Yeah.
As a collective, we're approaching them from a dysregulated, egoic state. And
Now, I'm sure you're not saying, hey, don't turn on the news. I'm sure you're not saying, don't listen to the radio station that
Right.
we're on, which is talking about this kind of stuff
I'm not saying
24/7.
right, exactly.
I don't hear you saying that, but
No.
what I hear you saying is kind of a cautionary tale, right?
That
Be
we
aware.
can, yes, there's a difference between awareness and the threat, right? So we can be in awareness and know what's going on with a calm, regulated nervous system. So I do think we need to balance how much we listen to.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know,
Oh, of course.
we can go into it too much where it does consume us.
Sure.
Right.
And so, but obviously, there's also something to be said for being informed.
Right.
You know, we
Right.
do need to know what's going on in the world
Right.
and be informed, so
You
that we
might
know how
not
to
need
handle it.
you may not need that box on 24/7, 365 in the living room, right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And there's also something to be said for balanced. You know, I'm not saying that if you are one for CNN that you need to totally make yourself mad by going to Fox or vice versa. You know, so this isn't. I'm not talking about politics, but I am in that we need a balanced view.
Yeah.
Right. Because we can go too far in our own view, and that view can make us very angry and very dysregulated.
Yeah.
And so there is something to be said for bringing balance to the whole system. And
Well, and what I hear you saying too is goes back to what you said in the beginning, was the importance of going within, right? And rather than giving our power away. And I think practicing nervous system regulation can be a great form of, well, when I'm regulated and I do encounter the news or this other possibly dysregulating information,
right.
I can trust myself because I know how to regulate my nervous system.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's absolutely it. We
Yeah.
cannot be in tune with our own inner truth when our nervous system is hijacked.
Right.
We're not using our intuitive nature. We're not in tune with ourselves. We're not in tune with God or our inner selves or whatever you want to call that. So we can't. So we're being flooded with this information, whether it's from social media or the news channel. We're being flooded with this information, and we then go into a spiral because we don't know what the truth is. We become untrustworthy. We can't get in touch with ourselves. So from a calm place, from a regulated nervous system, we can take that in, and we can know internally. That's my truth, okay, or that's not. I need to turn that on, off, or walk away, or I need to, we can handle it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great opportunity, in other words,
Yeah.
to be able to practice the discernment and to say, okay, well, what is true for me?
Yeah.
I might be a crazy person over here, but I think all of this is a good thing because it gives us that opportunity to decide, okay, well, where is my truth?
Well, and so it kind of goes to anger when my husband and I have talked about this a lot because he's an electrician, and so electricians are known to become angry from time to time. And when
Oh,
you
no.
They're a little zappy.
see something fly across the room. But when, and he understands this now fully, and we've had these conversations a lot, that the minute you go into, I'm not going to say extreme state of anger, but the anger grips you pretty good. You're not in control of yourself anymore.
Yeah.
You're not
You've
in
lost
control.
it.
You've lost control. And so those are so watching the news, if you become, find yourself pretty angry, just turn it off and walk away. Get yourself regulated.
Yeah.
And because you're not being effective. Yep.
So the $1 million question, and we'll try to tackle it when we come back, is with this all makes such good sense, but can we do it?
Yes.
Can we really do it?
We can.
And
We can.
we'll talk about that when we come back. Stacie Slabaugh with us today here on Strategies for Living. And we've got more to learn, more to come. Stay right where you are.
We all have problems every day. We all need help along the way. We need strategies, strategies, strategies for living radio.
And welcome back in. Welcome back into Strategies for Living Radio. Dr. Stacie Slabaugh and Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian, Stacie, of course, from the Balanced Life Wellness Center. Turns out that we've got a gift right in the center of our community at 115 Kings Highway in Shreveport, right next to Strong's. Everybody knows where Strong's is. Everybody knows where Centenary College is.
Yeah.
So that kind of gives you the idea. But we're talking we're talking about how easy it is for us to get dysregulated today, and we're talking about how easy it can be and how we can learn. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not
Simple.
easy. Maybe it's simple, not easy.
Right.
Yeah.
But
that's a
with
good-
some effort
That's what I would say.
Yeah.
and checking out thebalancedlife.us. You may be surprised when you look at thebalancedlife.us. You may be surprised at what we now have available in our community. Thanks to Stacie. Thank you so much for what you've
thank you.
brought to our community, and the innovation and the availability. Some of this has been available, East Coast, West Coast.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's,
For a while.
If you go to other places, it's there. But I am trying to. I have brought it here, and
you've
as
put a
I
lot of
slowly-
modalities together.
Yes, and as I
Yeah.
slowly add, that's what I'm looking for is things that that you don't find on every corner. Things that are new to our area.
Yeah.
Well, and we're all
That are
better.
effective.
Yeah, we're all better for it.
Yeah.
So
we're talking about this makes this so much sense. This what we're talking about today and how we can get into dysregulation. And we can't control obviously what's going on 3,000
in the
miles
world.
away,
Right.
or in Washington D.C. or in Tel Aviv or wherever you're focused on.
Right.
It doesn't matter. You can't control that.
Yeah.
But you can control. You have a world within you. Let's talk about that.
Well, and we talked about the symptoms of dysregulation, and I think that's one of them that we did not mention before. Is if you find yourself being a little control freakish, then maybe your what is his name that used to say, "Here's your sign."
Oh yeah.
If you find yourself
Bill
being,
Engel.
was he "Here's your sign" or I can see his face and I can't think of his name, but the one "Here's your sign."
He's the guy from fifth grader.
Yeah.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader?
Than a fifth grader,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
If you find yourself trying to control the world and trying to control all the little things around you, and
There's your sign.
trying to control all the external events, and getting mad at Fox News because you can't control what they're saying or doing, then that is a sign.
Yeah.
That
a good
you
sign
are out of
that you
control,
are
right?
out of control, that your nervous system is out of control, and that you're dysregulated.
Mm-hmm.
Because with a regulated nervous system, we understand. Would we all like to be the CEO or the general manager of the world and tell everybody what to do? Yes, I mean sometimes we do want it done our way. But we have to
If they would
know
all
that
just
if they
listen
would
to
all
me.
just listen to me, the world would be great.
Isn't that the ego on display?
But we have to be able to laugh at that and laugh at ourselves and laugh at our kind of innate tendency to want to do that, and laugh that off and realize that we can't, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But the most important thing we can control is ourselves and our reactions. And from a calm, centered, grounded, regulated nervous system, we have so much more power to respond, not react, to handle those situations, to handle the news that's coming in from the TV or from the social media or from wherever. We have so much more power to handle those things from a regulated state.
When you do that, when you learn to do that, you are controlling
Right.
the only world that
world.
matters.
The only world that matters and the
Which is
only
your
world you
world.
can. You're inside your inner
Well,
world, right?
And then when you do that, you recognize that the world does change.
Yes.
Because when you change your
That's
world,
the only constant is change.
Yeah, yeah. But when you change your world, you change the lens that you see the world through.
Right.
And so you do recognize that everything in your world does actually change.
Change.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. The way you relate to people. So when we start to get your nervous system regulated, you will notice that you process information more clearly. You can handle. That's one thing that I have people come back to me. I've had several people, especially older people that have been living in a dysregulated state for many years and didn't realize it. They'll come back after the third or fourth session and say, I'm handling things better. I had one lady in her 70s say, I had to drive over to Dallas this weekend, and usually I go over there and I just get in a frantic and I can't handle that traffic and I just stay just tense and nervous and just want to cry the whole time. And she said, I had to go over there this weekend and I handled it.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was more room, there was more processing capacity. There was more room in her system to handle that and to not get overwhelmed and to stay calm. So we're less reactive to the traffic, to whatever's going on. We don't get as overwhelmed as easily. We make decisions from a steady place rather than a place of fear. And
that can make such a difference.
we can stop absorbing that collective anxiety. There is a lot of collective anxiety right now.
Yes, there is.
And so we don't want to, right? We want to help that by backing out of it. And the more we can back out of that collective anxiety, the more that anxiety will dissipate.
Yeah.
And we're all better off for it.
And what you do and how you go about helping us get balanced, if you will, doesn't hurt a bit.
Not at all.
It's
It
non-invasive.
feels really good.
And it does feel,
It does feel really good.
it does feel really, really
Yes.
good.
It is very relaxing.
Now, I won't say that it doesn't move. It moves stuff.
Yes.
And after the fact, you might feel "quote unquote" worse in the sense that things might come up. Right.
Well, and that's another sign that your nervous system is really dysregulated is after a couple of sessions and it begins to calm down. If all you know, if all you remember is a dysregulated, chaotic, nervous state, then coming off of that feels very uncomfortable internally, emotionally. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle it.
Yeah.
Because
Peace
you've
can
lived
feel
in this
threatening.
state, can feel threatening, right?
Yeah.
So that's one sign that if you don't know you're in it and you come to see me a few times and it gets uncomfortable for a minute, it doesn't last long,
No, right.
but if it gets uncomfortable for a minute, then you go, oh, okay, I guess I was pretty dysregulated.
Yeah.
And, and then I will help you to continue to move through that.
So if this is resonating with people who are listening, what do you want them to ask themselves? What do you want them to, kind of tune into?
Well, ask yourself, do you have a low overwhelm threshold? Do you get nervous or anxious really quickly? Do you get out of sorts fairly easily? Do you wake up feeling rested, or do you wake up bracing for the hell of the day that you think is coming? Do you feel guilty when you try to rest and relax? Or does silence make you feel uncomfortable just sitting in the moment? If so, then you likely have a dysregulated nervous system. And let's do something about that.
It's as simple as beginning at thebalancedlife.us. And you can make your discovery appointment right there.
Yes.
And pretty easy drive over to 115 Kings Highway, right across from Centenary College, right next to Strong's. And you're going to have a wonderful time getting regulated.
Yes.
At the Balanced Life. Stacie Slabaugh, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you for being a great life strategist. We'll come back and wrap up here on Strategies for Living. And welcome back. Welcome back into Strategies for Living. Stacie Slabaugh from the Balanced Life Wellness Center, Lauren Leon McMillian, David McMillian, here on Strategies for Living. We have a lot of good conversations when you come, Stacie, always. But I'm not sure that we've ever had one as important as the conversation that we've had today. About because we're all in some, none of us are fine.
None
fine.
of us are fine.
Yeah.
None of us are fine. That is so true.
And so, But here's the bottom line. We can do something about that.
Absolutely.
Thebalancedlife.us. Question for you is, what do you want people to take away from this conversation today?
Don't wait until your body forces you to slow down. Don't wait for the physical symptoms that we spoke about earlier, the autoimmune disorders, the chronic fatigue, the depression that won't let you out of the bed, the severe case of cold and flu. Don't wait for that. Don't wait for those symptoms. Get it in check now. You can retrain your nervous system. We can absolutely do something about that state of stress that you're living in. And once your body feels safe again, that's an important word, safe. In a dysregulated nervous system, you're not feeling safe. Once we get you to feel safe again, everything changes. Your energy changes. You gain clarity. Your relationships change. Your health changes. And that's the work that I do.
Thebalancedlife.us. That'd be the best place to start. Stacie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lauren, thank you. Folks, thank you. We appreciate you being a part of Strategies for Living. And we appreciate our sponsors who make it all possible. The Robinson Film Center and Azalea Cleaners, Pintail Roofing, Learning RX. We train your brain. The Balanced Life Wellness Center, Fertitas Delicatessen, home of the Godfather. Alligator Italian Sausage, and pretty good Muffies, too. SRT Sales Training, Uprising Addiction Center, and Mira Direct Primary Care. If today were the last day of your life, you only had one more phone call that you could make, who would you call? And what would you say? And why are you waiting? Make the call. For Dr. Stacie Slabaugh, for Leon McMillian, I'm David McMillian. See you next time right here on Strategies for Living.